Hello, I just wanted to do an extremely quick, reactionary vlog to what I think we could all safely say is maybe the biggest game of the season so far and a genuinely crazy game. For the neutrals, that'll have been an extremely enjoyable. Well, to be fair, most of the people in the league either it's like Derby and Wrexham behind us, or it's the teams just above the relegation zone. And of course, Coventry, who have a great night with winning the league, and Leicester going down. Maybe not many neutrals, but they'll have enjoyed the game. But for Leicester fans, of course, they've gone down. I'm sure a lot of them were expecting to boo at the end of the game, and they've ended up doing that. But also, that's probably like the best they've played all season. It was very much like a game early on in the year, like I think of Oxford 3-2 and Bristol 4-2 and Portsmouth 3-2. It was just end to end. It could be any score. Could have been 5-1 Leicester. We could have easily won as well by any score. At the end, McBurney scores to equalise it at 2-2 with about half an hour left. You think, okay, well, this is not going to end 2-2, and somehow it did. I've sworn an awful lot. I hate, capital H, Leicester City. They won the league in 2016, but the year before they went on this amazing winning run and sent us down. 2017, they stay up, go on an amazing winning run, and it's us in 18th, because we were above them at one point in the season, I think. And they stay up. And then even this time, we get to relegate them finally after those two Premier League seasons, and they still screw us over because we've gone out of the playoffs and won 70 points. So, crazy game. We can go through it, but we started really well. Miller scored. He missed a chance earlier on, and he did really well to score from Begovic's wayward pass. And you think, okay, go and kill them, kill the game off. And we almost did. Crooks had a good chance that Begovic saved. It was sort of back heel. And you go in at half time thinking, okay, just don't do what you've done against Oxford and Sheffield United and Birmingham. And they did. And when it happened, Baloumi's injured. We've lost Amir. Just come on. Give us a chance with these blooming injuries. And then it's not really Baloumi's attacking thing that we lost. Kumas comes on. He played well after the mistake, but he doesn't really launch in, but he's naive, and Fatawu was it who got the penalty. James, puts it away. And you're thinking just, why does it have to be this way? This has been the case for all these other games in the past. 7 points lost in 4. It's now 9 and 5 we've dropped. And we've, gone from 9 clear to joint points. And we're in 7th, which is insane. And you're just like, why does it have to be this way? Ajayi, again, awful defending for the second goal. Ajayi, an amazing block, so he does redeem himself at the end of the game, but Ramsey could have scored. Daka should have scored to make it 1-1 before. They had lots of chances. Egan, what was Egan doing at the end? I've skipped ahead. Great goal from McBurney. Just you give him the opportunity in the box and he'll score. So, going forward, I feel like I'm confident. Yes, we've got chances. We've got these players. Even Hirakawa looked pretty good when he came on. And we were getting on the counter and you're just like, come on, get that goal. Because we've ridden our luck in, I made the miscompilation for the opponents. We've ridden our luck all season defensively, but we kind of expect that. We were well open, and over the course of 90 minutes, Leicester probably should have won it with the chances they had. But I was just absolutely furious on the counter because these are professional footballers, championship level footballers. We know the quality they've got. But on the ball, all season, they've been so bad at keeping the ball. And this was the worst of any of the games. The last 10 minutes is to and froing, but how many times did we win the ball really, really, really well? Our press for the whole game was really successful. We were winning it up the pitch and on the halfway line, and they would make the wrong pass every single goddamn time. At the end, McNair's got the opportunity to pass it along the ball, along the pitch, as the floor, 10 yards to a player, and he's putting a ball to Hirakawa. It has to be perfect. Egan, he's 33, he's a centre-back. I don't know what he's up there. It's the 90th minute. I don't necessarily expect him to be the most composed up there and score it. But I expect McNair's just come on to be able to pass the ball 10 yards forward and, maybe we don't score after that, but it's the right decision and they never make the right decision on the ball. I'm excited by the attacking ability we kind of found there and the franticness. That's kind of what we want to get to. But God knows how that ended up 2-2. I mean, I don't think anyone will know. I'm delighted Leicester have gone down because, because they've sent us down themselves before in the Premier League. And, you want to forgive your enemy. Not that I have, but you want to remember their name. You remember, that's happened. So we've sent them down. Cool, I guess. And I'm delighted that Shami Smodix looks like a complete prune. Because he said, oh, we'll absolutely get playoffs. Of course, if we'd won, they'd be 6 points adrift for 2. They're 4 points adrift now. Yes, QPR away, Sheffield United away. They could win those. I think Derby are the best team out of the 3 in the playoff race at the moment. Wrexham won 2 in a row, but they're beating Stoke. Rubbish. Oxford, rubbish, although typical, of course. Oxford, unbeaten against the top 8 at home. The only game where it would affect us at this point of the season now, that's the one they're going to lose. And it's blooming Windass. If Windass, it'd be typical if, Windass got in the playoffs and not Hull City. Oh well. But delusion is what I do quite well when it comes to football, especially. I mean, last season, it's kind of ridiculous. I mean, I do believe in the idea of, keeping hope alive. And again, you're not going to like this. You don't have to agree with me. But there are so many City fans who just seem to be, as soon as we score, nothing, or they're happy, But I guess don't want to go on social media and rant when we've won, but as soon as we concede a goal, or it's 1-1, or we've lost, and I am livid and I'm furious, and we have dropped all these points. But we are obviously still in it. We've been 5, 6, 7 points clear, and we've lost a game, and that's playoffs done. Have some joy in your life, Have some optimism. It's not... It all doesn't ride on, the one specific game. I mean, was this a must-win? Yes, but obviously not, because we're one, we're goal difference away from the playoffs with 2 games remaining. And I go back... It doesn't always work like this, but I go back to last season. We lose at home to Derby, a must-win game, which, again, it wasn't, because a draw would have kept us up. Not mathematically, but we pretty much would have been there. We'd been out the bottom 3, and we would have been ahead of Derby and Preston and Luton, I think. And yes, we'd lost at home, but the away form was good. Portsmouth, nothing to play for the final day, and you think, okay, there are reasons to be optimistic, not in terms of our performance, but any team can pull that performance out of anywhere. We've seen with Leicester in the second half today, 1-0 down, and we kind of give them another way into the game, but then they take that opportunity. But there was always a reasonable chance last season on the final day that we were going to stay up. We were good away. We got the point. We managed the situation better than Luton did. Preston, they got a draw away at Bristol. We didn't imagine that, but Luton did lose, and then we stayed up. So now it's 2 games, so there's more to us in terms. Derby, if Derby get the playoffs, I mean, that's very unlikely. They're 4 points behind both of us. It's possible that they could get the 2 wins that they need, but that isn't going to be enough if Wrexham or us win 1 game. Okay, so every single season, at the end of the season, and I've had a little look at our form, and then, some other teams that have only really won 1 in 5 or 2 out of 6 in the last few games. And I mean, we've got, was it 1 win in 6? Was it not 1 in 5? 4 out of 5 draws. Now, the teams in the playoffs choke. Now, Wrexham, Coventry away. Coventry, they've wrapped up the league. They didn't really have anything to play for tonight, but they won the league, and they won 4-1. We know Wrexham aren't very, they're effective like we are, but they're not very good in terms of kind of the control of the ball, and Coventry are going to have a field day. They'll have lots of possession. I do expect Coventry to win that game on Sunday. Now Charlton now genuinely are on the beach. We were kind of thinking this is a good time to play Leicester. They're about as on the beach as you can get. They're going to be an extra day tired because they're playing tomorrow. They've not won in 6, and they're playing Ipswich, so you can imagine that that's not going to be won in 7. Also, at this point, it's 10 minutes in, and I've admitted to the delusion, but it's kind of fun, right? It's kind of fun because genuinely, what would be the point of you watching that Charlton game if you think it's completely done? And I proved myself right. I kind of got it wrong. I was like, well, we'll beat Portsmouth and Preston will lose. But, there were other permutations. And I'm kind of thinking, okay, we were hoping that they were going to be laser focused. And first off, it looked like that. But Yakumas comes on. And clearly he wasn't. And then it all kind of falls down from there. But, so I think, I don't know whether you can start Hirakawa. And Miller and Bellumi look really good, but it won't start Bellumi. Start Gelhardt out wide, maybe, with 3 midfielders for Charlton. But, if we don't beat Charlton, it's probably going to be it. Because I expect Wrexham to get at least 1 point out of the next 2 games. But, Coventry's going to be on Sunday. If we lose to Charlton, obviously, I think then realistically that kind of would be done. Even I'm not going to be delusional enough to beat Norwich, because I think Norwich are very, very good. They're the best or the second best team in the league this calendar year. So I'm not going to necessarily say, I see no reason to be delusional to say we'll beat Norwich. But Charlton, away from home, absolutely. Maybe we don't want to go up first. Maybe we want to go 1-0 down and go and win 2-1 because going 1-0 up's not been working out. But, I can see us beating Charlton. That's relatively realistic. We're in not a good run, but I said it, 2 games ago, I don't see us going 7 without a win. And we've got, at the end of the season, because it's been 5 now. Yeah, maybe it will happen now, but I can see it. I can see us beating Charlton. Whether we will, you never know. It's just bounce the ball sometimes, but let's say we do that. I expect Coventry to beat Wrexham, even if they don't, and it's a draw. We're still 2 points clear, and they would have to beat Middlesbrough, and then Derby are done. So if we beat Charlton with the fixtures Wrexham have left, then I think we're there. So we're out of the playoffs, and it's not in our hands, obviously. I mean, it kind of is, because we can just get there on goal difference if we beat like Norwich 10-0 or something, but or 3 or 4. Not going to happen. But yeah, it will focus them. They have to go and beat Charlton. I am going to have a nice time the next week and a half or so because I'm on holiday. I'm going on a cruise. So I will be trying to, I think I'll be able to listen to the Charlton game at the very least. I'll be there for Norwich. But, partially I'm like, I haven't enjoyed the feeling of hanging on for grim death, hanging on to the points lead we have. So I'm kind of glad that they need to go and do something and get themselves back in the playoffs. But are we in the driving seat? Are we the most likely to get there? Obviously, mathematically, no. But dear God, Wrexham, Coventry and Middlesbrough, whew, I'm glad we don't have that set of fixtures. So, just before you go onto Twitter and say playoffs done, objectively wrong, you can't argue that that's correct in any way. Playoffs, you say, I don't think we're going to get the playoffs now, and after we've seen what happens in the next 2 games, I doubt we'll get there, fine. But you can't be like, obviously done. Because there's lots of realistic permutations that we can still get there. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. At least keep it to 15 minutes. If anyone has listened to the end of this, thanks. And sorry that you had to listen to it. So up the Tigers, and dear God, we better beat Charlton.